Very often, when you write code, you would want to perform different actions for different decisions. You can use conditional statements in your code to do this. In JavaScript, we have the following conditional statements. We have the if statements, else statements, else if statements, and the switch statements. So you use the if statement to specify a block of code to be executed if a certain condition is true. Okay, the first thing you need to do is to specify the condition. So if that condition is true, if the condition is satisfied, so the block of code in that if statement will be executed. If it is not satisfied, the block of code in the if statement will not be executed. Use the else statement to specify a block of code to be executed. You see, this if and the else statement, they go together. You will always have an if statement before an else statement. So in the if statement, you specify the condition. Yeah. So if that condition is satisfied, okay, so whatever code that is in between the um the if statement's curly brace is going to be executed. So if the condition is false, that is, if that condition is not satisfied, it will now move down to the else part. Okay, so when we see examples, we'll understand this more. All right. So use the else statement to specify a block of code that you want to be executed if the same condition is false. So when you would want to use else if is if you want to specify a new condition to test, right? That is if the first condition is false. Okay, so these three they go together, and then you use the switch statement to specify many alternative blocks of code to be executed. Many alternative blocks of code to be executed. So let's see each of them. The first one we'll look at is the if statement. Use the if statement to specify a block of JavaScript code that you want to execute if the condition is true. So we declare the variable hour. We said hour is equal to 12. Okay, so the syntax is you write your if keyword followed by brackets. Inside this bracket, you specify your condition and then followed by opening curly brace and then a closing curly brace. It is in between the opening curly brace and the closing curly brace that the block of code to be executed will be inserted. Okay, so this is an example. We said if hour is less than 18, what is the current value of hour? Hour is 12. So if hour is less than 18, right? Assign this value to this variable. Okay? So 12 is obviously less than 18. So what is going to be outputted is what? Good day. We use the else statement to specify a block of code to be executed if the condition is false. Okay, so let's say hour is equal to 20. Okay, so the condition says if hour is less than 18, okay, assign good day to this variable. So 20 is not less than 18. 20 is actually greater. So this is false. Okay, 20 is not less than 18. That's why it will come down to this block of code. So instead, good evening will be assigned to this variable. And so what will then be outputted is what? Good evening. It will be good evening. That's when if our hour is what? If our hour is 20. But there's nowhere in this code that I change the value of hour. So it is still what? It is still 12. So what we have here will be good day. But if you changed it to 20, you can try that out in your code editor and then you see what will be outputted. The else if statements. We use the else if statement to specify a new condition if the first condition is false. Okay, so let's see an example. If time is less than 10, create a good morning greeting. If not, but time is less than, this is very logical. So you have to pay attention and read, maybe watch the video a couple of times before you get it. If time is less than 10, create a good morning greeting. If not, but time is less, that is, if the time is not less than 10, but it is less than 20, create a good day greeting. Otherwise, create a good evening greeting. So now we said time is equals to 5. If time is less than 10, create what? A good morning greeting. Else, if time is less than 20, create a good day greeting. And then if both of these are false, then do this. So this one, if this is true, do this. If this is true, do this. But it will mean that this is false. Okay? This one will only run if this is false. But if it is true, this one will just run and then you get your output. Okay? JavaScript switch statements. The switch statement is used to perform different actions based on different conditions. Based on different conditions. So we use the switch statement to select one of the many code blocks to be executed. This is the basic syntax. Okay, look at it, study it. We have the switch keyword followed by a bracket, and then inside this bracket you have your expression. Okay, and then you have curly braces. Inside the curly braces you have another keyword. It is called case. Okay, when we start seeing an example, you understand it. Let's look at an example. So this is an example. We said switch. Our expression is to get today. Like, which day are we in? Is today Sunday? Is today Monday? Is today Tuesday? Wednesday? Thursday? So what this is doing is to get today. So if today is Sunday, when you run, okay, let me even run it so you can see what's going on. What's going on? Paste. All right. Today is Monday 1. Okay, so I'll show you what that is doing. So it's going to execute this expression, okay, and then this case is now saying when this runs, whatever the output is, whatever is returned, and if it's 0 that is returned, you will now assign Sunday to this day variable and then break out of this switch statement. Okay, but if what is returned is 1, assign Monday to this variable and break out. Okay, if what is returned, remember that when we ran this, what was returned was 1 because today is Monday. Let's say I ran it yesterday, what will be returned will be Sunday, and this will be true. But currently this is the new thing that is true because our case is 1 and today is Monday. So the next case 2, next case 3, 4, 5, and the last one, which is Saturday. So JavaScript switch statements. The switch expression is evaluated once. Okay, the value of the expression is compared with the values of each case. If there is a match, the associated block of code is executed, and if there is no match, the default code block is executed.